Assalamu alaikum and welcome to An Nur the Light. Surah An-Nisa, verse 124, Allah has promised those who believe and do deeds of righteousness, for them there is forgiveness and a great reward. This week's profile is about two people who fulfill this verse in the most humbling way.
Characterized by progressive dulling of the eye lens, cataracts has been identified as the leading cause for 50% of blindness in South Africa. The condition is easily reversed by surgery, but for thousands, paying for treatment is impossible.
We see a lot of these patients who are in need of cataract surgery. Some of them can pay for the operation. However, there's many that cannot afford these types of operations. It's a costly operation. And the options that patients are left with are government hospitals, and mainly government hospitals are in dire need of help, So we saw a need for our patients to get this type of surgery because our patients waiting lists in government hospitals for 2-3 years. And so some of the patients can't wait that long. So we decided to offer some of our patients free operations. Between myself and Dr. Dinda, we started this initiative, and that's how we came about doing free cataract surgery for patients.
Each year, 10,000 names are added to the ever-expanding waiting list. For Dr. Akil Asfat, son of the highly acclaimed apartheid activist Dr. Abu Bakr Asfat, and his partner Dr. Ismail Dinder, this was unacceptable, introducing their pro bono cataract surgery initiative as a remedy.
It's always nice to live in a house with someone who brings you up in that way. So you take a lot of his values out and you can implement it in your life. So any great person, they all have good qualities, and if you implement just one quality into your life, then hopefully if you do a few of those qualities, you slowly build yourself up as a person.
I grew up in a place called Standerton. It's a little town in Mpumalanga. When I was growing up, medical aid was an issue, and my father needed cataract surgery, and as a result of seeing what he went through and the difficulty that he went through, it kind of guided me towards the field of eyes. Another reason is, once I qualified as a doctor, I went back for my community service to Standerton, and I saw the effect of AIDS in the sense that a lot of the children or the grandkids were being taken care of by the grandparents, but the grandparents couldn't see, so they couldn't look after the kids. And trying to get the patients sent through for something as basic as a cataract surgery was quite difficult. And once patients are done, the effects are vast. They're much more functional, they're much more productive, and they take care of the kids, but at a better level.
Only mildly invasive cataract surgery is performed by removing the defective eye lens, which is then replaced with an artificial intraocular lens. And with a 90% proven success rate, doctors are literally able to restore sight to the blind.
Cataract operation over time has evolved, and these days it's a very technologically advanced operation. We use micro incisions on the eye, which we don't put stitches in, they seal up by themselves. We use ultrasound to suck out the lens, and the lenses also that we place into the eye are tiny lenses which we fold into the eye, and it opens up into the eye. So it's a very highly technologically advanced operation, and the results are excellent from this type of operation. It's the most successful operation that we have in medicine because the patient's vision is almost immediately restored. So it's really a great operation.
The Gauteng-based ophthalmologists are passionate about curing reversible blindness. In 2016, the doctors achieved an impressive feat, completing 20 surgeries over a 2-day period. Since then, the doctors have been inundated with requests and endeavor to continue in their noble undertaking.
The free cataract surgery we offer to about 25 patients a year. However, we are looking at increasing the number because we are overwhelmed by the amount of patients that require this service. So we're currently trying to do it on a more regular basis, and hopefully with the help of sponsors, we'd be able to do this more regularly.
each patient is different. Each surgery is different. When you help one person out, that feeling can never be bought. Money can never replace it. And that's why we do what we want to do and what we love doing. I'm just repeating what somebody else said, but if you love what you do, it's like you never worked a day in your life. There's nothing more pronounced than seeing someone who's essentially has a form of treatable blindness get up off the table, start tearing because they can see, and give you a hug. Your heart just jumps out. There's a level of joy that can't be explained.
After the brain, the eye is the most complex organ with more than 2 million functioning components. It is nearly impossible to discern the complexity with which the human body was created, a testament to the incomprehensible power of the Creator.
As Muslim South Africans, we can truly be proud of the amazing work our brothers and sisters do across this country. Maulana Zakaria Philander has moved to Saudi Arabia as he is pursuing his studies. We are most honored to welcome Maulana Ibrahim Bam as the new host of our Q&A segment.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Maulana Ibrahim Bam and I welcome the viewers to this program of An Nur the Light and the question and answer segment. We begin by praising the Almighty Allah for His many favors upon us, and salutations be upon all the messengers of the Almighty, especially the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Amongst the questions we have received from the viewers over time, I will try and endeavor to give a short answer to some of those queries. The one question we have received: can a daughter get married without a father's consent or without him knowing, and is this marriage valid? In Islam, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, or Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had said, La nikaha illa bi waliyin. There is no nikah except with the blessings of the guardian, without the blessings of the guardian. According to the jurists, some have said that this is an obligation, some have said that this is a recommendation. Beyond the juristic difference, it is very clear from the saying of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, it is something that is encouraged, that young people should take the blessings of their parents before getting married. How does a woman show her dissatisfaction towards a husband who forever belittles or put her down in front of children or other people? The wife has spoken to him many a times about his attitude, but she has not been able to be successful. In this regard, what we do advise the spouse is that to speak to the husband, to be able to make him aware that how degrading and how it impacts upon the spouse to be belittled in front of their children and other people. If, for example, this doesn't work, which of course as far as possible, matters should be constrained and should be resolved within the parties and within the marriage. But if it cannot be resolved, then we would advise the spouse to be able to get counseling and to get outside intervention with regard to counseling to be able to rectify and amend. Otherwise, it could have negative effects upon the longevity of the marriage. Another question that has come in is: a husband gives talaq to a wife, he divorces a wife. He passes on within the iddah period. Firstly, definitely the moment a person passes away, the marriage breaks, it terminates. The other aspect of whether she inherits or not, it depends upon the type of divorce that is given. If the divorce is a revocable divorce, then yes, she will inherit. But if it is an irrevocable divorce, then she will not inherit. I hope this is sort of clarify some of the questions that we have received. Obviously, the scope of this program is something that we can give an answer, and we endeavor to give an answer. But if any viewer want further type of details with regard to some of the answers that we have provided to the questions provided, please do not hesitate to contact us. And inshallah, we thank the viewers for their questions.
If you have any questions for Maulana, please send to us and we will pass on to him. Our topic this week looks into bullying and the awareness around it.
Bullying has become a serious issue across the world and takes its toll on victims in many ways. While this act continues to increase in South Africa, some victims step up to regain control of their lives, while others see no way out, often leading to suicide. While bullying represents an attack on human dignity, the Western Cape Education Department views bullying as a very serious issue.
Bullying can have disastrous consequences for particular learners. Our life skills curriculum, which is a national curriculum, does deal with bullying in a topic called personal and social well-being. And it's dealt with mainly in grades 2, 4, and 6. And so children at a very young age are exposed to advice and on how they can deal with bullying, but also those bullying in the classes, how they can kick the bullying habit. More important is dealing with it in terms of changing behavior, and that requires certain support structures and expertise in how to deal with bullying. We have to remember that bullies are children, and we need to approach it in a certain way to try and change behavior rather than just manage behavior. We also have a Safe Schools division, which is very active in the area of youth development, particularly in after-school activities and holiday programs. And in these programs, bullying is dealt with as one of the topics that they deal with. Certainly a very important youth development issue.
The Western Cape Education Department recently introduced their latest policy called Abuse No More and gives citizens, especially parents and students, a clear guideline as to how they can deal with this issue.
If a parent discovers their child is being bullied and they don't know how to deal with it, they can approach the school for advice. If the school can't provide that advice, they can call in the help of our social workers and school psychologists who will help talk them through it. We also have a Safe Schools call centre, if I can give the number. It's 0800 454647, and we have trained agents there as well who can provide advice. We certainly would encourage parents not we encourage them to do something about it, because the results of bullying can be devastating for a child.
Once bullying has been identified, it's important to address the situation as soon as possible, where appropriate measures and actions can be implemented. For the victim, it is not an easy journey to deal with. While some are open about their situation, others often find it hard to speak up due to fear of being bullied again.
There was 3 girls and we used to be friends. We were in the same class, grade 9. And this one girl, she used to tell me whenever I'm absent that they're gossiping about me and what lies. And then I stopped believing her, because not only her was telling me that they're gossiping about me, many others, and I started drifting myself away from them. And then for 2 years, they started calling me names and taking my things and shoving me around. And that actually drove me to a point where I felt suicidal, and I didn't want to attend school anymore. I felt down and I didn't want to do anything. I felt I'm not good enough for anything and I wasn't worth anything. And then I told my mom, and the school got me a counselor, and since then I'm in counseling.
Beverly Davids is the founder of Chauncey's Epic Anti-Bullying Club, which was formed to help pupils, teachers, and the community as a whole. The idea of this anti-bullying campaign came about after her son was bullied. She says she watched her child suffer and change in front of her eyes. Despite reporting the act, no one could help her son. He was buried in May 2014.
Chauncey was one of your top achiever students, and that caused quite a bit of jealousy, right? And because of that, Chauncey was bullied verbally, he was bullied emotionally, he was bullied physically, and physically to the point where we had to take him to the doctor twice in 1 month. Whenever people had a problem as far as bullying is concerned, they would come to our house, and that is how we assisted people while Chauncey was still alive and here. And after his death, the detective on his case actually said, if you don't do something about bullying, I will not leave you alone. And I took 3 months after he passed to just take our time for myself as a mother losing a child. And then we started, myself and Luan, and started the campaign.
While many children still struggle with bullying in schools across South Africa, parents may not be aware that it is in fact happening to their own child. Educating your children and engaging with them is possibly the first step in combating this ill in our society.
please reach out if you know anyone that is in need of counseling. Too many times we see young children doing desperate things to bring attention to their situation. Next up is our travel segment from the beautiful province of KwaZulu-Natal.
If ever there was a place known as animal paradise, it would be this. Come see animals as they play, roam freely, and even laugh if you're lucky.
It's my passion flag animal farm, the Heart of Belito, the largest domestic animal rescue centre in the country. And I cannot tell you how much it fills my soul to save so many lives. It's fantastic.
Fun-filled milking shows will educate the family, whilst animal and bird enthusiasts will take you around the farm to greet all the animals by name.
We offer a full farm, real farm experience for the whole family, from wolf interaction, reptile shows, milking of the cow shows, as well as jumping castle. But the best part is the interaction with over 1,000 rescue animals. I think when a child gets a chance to cuddle a baby goat, words can't express the joy that they can bring to the whole family. Every single animal has got an identity here, and they are, as I said before, part of our family.
Experience the many animal personalities this farm has to offer. Learn more about how to treat them, and as the farm expands and takes in more rescue animals, allow your kids to simply come and enjoy them. Keen for a quick bite during your farmland adventures? Look no further than the Bush Hut Cafe on Animal Flag Farm to keep you going.
So our menu isn't that very big, and the meals are not very heavy as well. It's mostly snack food where you guys could get like maybe burgers, chips, sandwiches.
Whether it's a scrumptious homemade burger, a chicken and cheese sandwich, or a dessert to top the day off, this up-and-coming cafe really feels like home.
Our speciality would be the chocolate brownies as well as our coffee. It's because it's made here on the farm, and it has to be the best amongst our visitors. We at the Bush Hut Cafe try to accommodate for everybody. We have a lot of Muslim families visiting us on the farm. It is an amazing experience for them. It's because of our prayer facility as well as our coffee shop, which is halal. So they don't have to rush off to get food or maybe rush off because of prayer times.
On KwaZulu-Natal's Dolphin Coast, you'll find a home to some of our country's most interesting reptiles and learn how to understand these oft-feared creatures. Education is key at Ndlondlo Reptile Park in KwaZulu-Natal, and guided tours give you the opportunity to learn fun and interesting things.
Ndlondlo Reptile Park was born out of necessity. I was managing a croc farm a few kilometers up the road here, and that property was sold out for development. And all my snakes, tortoises and things were on display at that crop farm. And I then had to move with quite a lot of animals.
There are also 2 underground snake enclosures boasting over 15 different species of indigenous snakes.
We're educational entertainment. It's also a place for university students to come in and find out more, school kids to come and do their projects. It's a place for the average inquisitive person out there to come and really see what happens in the reptile world. And all visitors are treated to a guided tour. So you go around with a professional that knows his stuff. You can ask questions, the tours are interactive, and it's really a place of learning.
Ndlondlo is home to a few iguanas, freaky frogs, tortoises, tarantulas, and even some of our crocodile friends.
If you have any suggestions for our travel segment, then let us know. We're always keen to try out new adventures. That's it for this week. Please be safe and make lots of du'as that we can all live peaceful lives. Kenna Mari Mokwanda, Salang Hantle, Assalamu alaikum.
Masisondele masisondele phila noxolo yelele.
Subhanallah walhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. Subhanallah walhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. You can say it once or 100 times or more. You'll feel at peace inside and it'll open every door. That's the power of remembering Allah. It's the best way to purify your heart. Know you will be loved by the merciful one. 'Cause that's the power of remembering Allah. Subhanallah walhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. Subhanallah walhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. So much you can gain just by saying those few words. You can renew your faith and be showered in reward. Oh, that's the power of remembering Allah. It's the best way to purify your heart. And know you will be loved by the merciful one. 'Cause that's the power of remembering Allah. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wallahu akbar.
Masisondele, masisondele